Hello, my name's Don, and I welcome you, dear viewer, to this trip to Alice Springs. First became aware of the town as a young Canadian boy when I read Neville Shute's book, A Town Called Alice. It seems like a romantic place being located right in the center, the dead red center of Australia. It's not a very large place, about 30,000 people, and only a few streets. It's surrounded on all sides by the desert. My wife Lily had a good look at the town from one of these hot air balloons, and she even got breakfast and a bottle of champagne thrown in. Another good way to see the town is from Anzac Hill, where there's a large war memorial and a flag, flying the flag of the Northern Territory. Anzac Hill gives a good view of the town of Alice Springs, showing the church in the foreground. A couple of panoramic views. By the campfire at night, where the wild dingoes call. But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. Again, a still photo, but showing the tourist plaque in the foreground. He walks into the kitchen, she says, the church you see is the Flint Memorial Church, located in central Alice Springs. This view shows the Alice Springs race course. He rushes for cover. He cringes in fear, it's no place for a dog round the pub with no beer. It's lonesome away from your kindred and home. In 1980, they completed the railway from Adelaide to Darwin to Alice Springs. I've never taken the train, but it looks like a good way to get to the dead center. It's lonesome away from your kindred and home, by the campfire at night, where the wild dingoes call. But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. Oh, it's lonesome away from your kindred and home, by the campfire at night, when the wild dingoes call. I've been to Alice Springs 4 or 5 times now because I've got a good friend who used to work there. I came by plane, and here's an aerial view from the plane. Notice the Todd River marked in green through the center of the photograph. Also from the plane, this one looks through the Simpson Gap with the McDonald mountain range in the foreground. But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear, than to stand in the bar of a pub with no beer. I bet many tourists are disappointed with Alice Springs. When you get to it, it just seems like another normal city that you'd see anywhere in the world. Here's the airport, and it doesn't really fire up your imagination once you get off the plane. Then the swaggy runs in, covered in dust and flies, throws down his swag, wipes the sweat, Shot of the original Alice Springs, where they found water, which led to the settlement. Having spent my life as a teacher, and more recently as an educational psychologist, I was very interested in the Northern Territory School of the Air. Here's where they broadcast their lessons to Australian students living in the outback. Here are School of the Air students who study in the outback.
I'll believe the blacksmith first time in his life has gone in cold sailor to his darling wife.
The other unique Australian service is the Royal Flying Doctor Service, which provides transport by small plane from the outback. When I broke my neck in 1978 in the Nullarbor Desert, the Royal Flying Doctor Service flew me back to Perth for my spinal treatment. Well, the headquarters doesn't look like much. One of the early Flying Doctor planes. This is a very creative sign advertising the Central second-hand store. It's a picture of a large hand with a tiny little hand growing out of the index finger. For some reason, tourists love to photograph this scene. Being an amateur radio operator, VK6DN, I was very interested in visiting the old telegraph station, which acted as a repeater station between Adelaide and Darwin. The old buildings remain as a museum.
The barmaid's gone cranky, the cook's acting queer. It's a terrible place, is the pub with no beer.
Some of the early equipment.
It's lonesome away from your kindred and all.
This sign in the store caught my eye. I wonder what they mean by Australian.
But there's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear.
This Adelaide Centre was one of the first medical centres in Alice Springs. Closed as a medical treatment center in 1939. As I said, most tourists are disappointed with the town. It just looks like any country town, boring.
Then the swaggy runs in, covered in dust and flies, throws down his swag, wipes the sweat from his eye.
I guess the shade cloths in a Coles car park are a bit unique.
It's lonesome away from your kindred and all, by the campfire at night to where the wild dingoes call.
Here's the main street leading to Simpson's Gap.
There's nothing so lonesome, morbid or drear than to stand in
the main shopping mall does not engage the attention. And how many people would fly halfway around the world to look at a scene like this? The windmill is a bit unique, but it's just been put up for the tourists. At last, someone tries to cash in by establishing a Wild West image, sort of the American saloon. Let's have a quick look.
There's a dog on the veranda, for his master he waits, but the boss is inside, drinking wine with his mates. He rushes for cover, he cringes in fear, it's no place for a dog round the pub with no beer. It's lonesome away from your kindred and all,
Well,